Now, I recently saw one of our top chefs being interviewed on television, and he was asked what he thought Australia's national dish was. And I pricked up my ears. I thought, oh, this is going to be interesting. And he said, oh, that's easy. Pork Honolulu. I hope he was joking. Anyway, I felt that it was a good time to actually cook pork Honolulu, so that's what I'm doing today. And I must say, I bought a Hawaiian shirt, and it was so bloody awful that Ruth threw it in the rubbish, so I can't wear it. So I was going to wear it. It was pretty bloody gearish. And actually, this dish, I saw somebody say that this dish, pork Honolulu, is able to be cooked with the joy of cooking Hawaiian food without the stigma of having to wear a Hawaiian shirt. So that's my story anyway. Now, first of all, I've just got some lovely pork fillet, which I've trimmed, and I've just cut into slices. So we'll just throw that in there into some hot veggie oil. I won't cook it too much because it's going to go back in, so we'll just sear it, or seal it, I suppose is the word, isn't it? I actually do quite like this dish. You have to like sweet food because it has a bit of sweetness to it, because it's got pineapple in it, but it is nice. And what I do now, this is a bit unusual, I actually cook the pork before I do the marinade, and the marinade actually then gets added to the pork. So, as I said, it's a bit different than the norm. And to that I then add a few things. I've got half a yellow capsicum, seeded and sliced, half a red capsicum, about a quarter of a red onion finely sliced, a good knob of ginger, once again sliced, couple of cloves of garlic, and one long green chilli, if you can find it. If you can't find a long one, just use a little one. I'll put a bit of more oil in that because it needs it. So let's just saute this. And while that's happening, let's talk about the marinade that I was mentioning. So to this pork I add 1 tablespoon of soy, 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce, tablespoon of Chinese wine, a tablespoon of honey, corn flour. That's a tenderizing agency, so a tablespoon of that, tablespoon of sambal. And let's just mix that up really well. It's only a brief marinade. It may only, be 5 minutes or so, but it does help. Now, to go with it, some pineapple. Now I've just barbecued the pineapple, just put it on an indoor barbecue, I must admit. And I'm just cutting it into chunks. The pork can go in along with that so-called marinade. The pineapple can go in. And I will also add a little bit of chicken stock. Oh, it smells good, guys. Just going to reduce that sauce a bit. Remembering it's got corn flour in it, so it will thicken. And while that's happening, a drink. Now to go with this, a Mai Tai. That's the answer, isn't it? So let's just put some ice into that. And I've got a cocktail shaker here. 60 mils of good dark rum. This was created by a man called Trader Vic, who had a chain of restaurants which had huge, and when I say huge, huge clay ovens in the middle. I went to one once. It was absolutely brilliant. It was sort of Hawaiian type of food, but not quite. 15 mils of Cointreau, 20 mils of Oat syrup. I can never pronounce that, so excuse me if I've got it wrong. 25 mils of fresh lime. A little bit of ginger beer in my sauce. That'll just add a little bit of extra oomph. We'll turn it back on just before we serve it. But first of all, let's make our cocktail. As I said, Trader Vic created it. I wonder whether he actually was a trader or the name was just bullshit. Let's just put that over there. Let's just turn this back on for a second, just to reheat it. And let's throw in plenty of coriander. Serve it with rice, of course, because there's lots of juices. But I like the idea of lots of juices. And there we go, the Australian national dish, pork Honolulu. Guys, to show your support for my channel and to keep in the loop, subscribe. It's easy to do, and don't forget, it's free. Okay, cheers.